With historically low rates and constant news on the Housing Authority, mortgage specialist and founder of Centek Capital of Beverly Hills, Gloria Shulman, offers advice on avoiding a bad home appraisal and overcoming strict bank requirements on income and credit. She joins us now in studio. So nice to have you here, Gloria.
Thank you so much.
And this is always a hot topic, whether you're at a dinner party or you're talking business. In California, we all want to talk about real estate. Do you find that in all your years of experience?
Oh, heavens, yes. All markets, that's the buzz topic at cocktail parties.
And you were saying that, earlier when we were chatting, that it's definitely important to be educated on this, even if you're not in the market right now.
Yes, I think the self-education concept is extremely important at all price points, all geographic areas. And what that means is a matter of knowing what properties are available, what has sold. You don't necessarily have to know all the specifics, but just have a general overview of which streets are the most desirable, which streets might back up to commercial, what the schools are, what the traffic flow is, and what's the overall community like, where can I walk to, and things of that nature, which are so important.
And I know recently we saw a big change in the way appraisals are done, and that came all the way, nationwide.
Federal law.
How important is your appraisal?
An appraisal is crucial. In the past, the concept was a ready, willing buyer paying X price, so therefore the value was established. However, because of the new appraisal laws that started approximately 2 years ago, there's an independent appraiser that goes out, validates the comparables, and sometimes there is subjectivity with the analysis of the appraiser. So this is very important, which real estate agents, of course, will share with one.
Another obstacle that I know I had firsthand, my husband and I are both self-employed, the approval rate.
You've identified a major problem in the industry today. It's very important that one deals with a qualified mortgage broker. Be prepared to share your life via tax returns with this particular person. And what will be accomplished is analyzing your returns. As an example, depreciation can be added back. Sometimes one expense, sometimes not always, can be added back to the adjusted gross income, which is the bottom line on the tax returns. And that most certainly determines what the qualifying is. And it is definitely much more complicated for self-employed, such as yourself and myself.
As far as I've heard a lot of people say, this is like free money. The interest rates are so low. And how do you feel about that?
Yes, we're at their lifetime lows. However, it's much easier tying in with what you said earlier if one is a W-2 individual. Now, a W-2 does not mean that one's own corporation is issuing a W-2. It's talking about a salaried position.
And is there something that you'd like to point out, just maybe a common mistake that you see people make?
Once again, it ties in with the word self-educating that you and I were discussing earlier. It's very important to know that 500 can buy approximately this amount of a property, and $1 million can buy this amount of a property, and not delude oneself as to that which one can afford. And yes, we can make this payment of $3,000, but where does the food come from? So one can give analogies of that nature at all price points. And that ties in with the original adjustable mortgages that people had that were deferred interest loans was the proper term. What that meant very simply was that some people said, oh, I'm paying 1% interest, so therefore I can buy a house for X amount because I can afford that, not realizing that that 1% was a false rate. It was a temporary rate, and that the real rate was significantly more, which they couldn't afford. So therefore, did they really need that house that was more than their budget would allocate?
And again, it goes with having somebody that's trustworthy, that's been in the business for a long time. And if anybody has any questions or wants to reach out to you, we're going to have your website and all the information out there, as well as on our blog. And Gloria, thank you so much for joining us on California Life.
It was my pleasure. Thank you for inviting me.